Oh, sweet. Got a new comment on my latest video. Clash with trash. Worthless channel, man. All you do is suck up to pro players. Quit sucking up. You suck up. All right, listen, guys. I'm going to say this once and one time only. I will never, ever suck up to pro players, and I'm sick of you guys saying it in the comments. Never going to happen. Got it?
Hey Ash, your love letter from yesterday, I mean, it's cool and all, but please stop putting perfume on it because it's really stinking up the house.
Oh, hey Serge. Sorry about that. Won't happen again, man. Let's get to the video. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today is a beautiful day. Hope you guys are doing well. Today it's actually a little bit chilly here in Massachusetts, where I'm recording from the CWA headquarters. Okay, not that serious, but I'm actually rocking my ClashCon hoodie again, and it reminds me, ClashCon was the first time I actually visited Helsinki and to Supercell headquarters, and boy did I feel so out of place, man. I had like 30,000 subscribers back in 2015 when we had it, and you know, I'm there with all these million subscriber dudes like, you know, Chief Pat and Galadon back then, Alvaro. Back at that time, Molt and Nick were around like 300,000 subscribers, smaller than my channel is now. So yeah, how time flies and how things change. I'm lucky enough to still be here with you guys, and today's video is going to be a good one. Hopefully it's going to be ranking the legendaries, kind of taking into the account the usage rates and most importantly the win rates and the overall utility in the legendaries in the current meta. Before we get to that, guys, we are going to do a little giveaway today. Why not, right? So I'm going to post in the pinned comment for this plush baby dragon. You can see he's in his little carrying bag along with the magical chest here tag. And yeah, so you can see the official Supercell logo, guys. But anyway, I'm going to give this away to one of you guys. All you got to do is follow the instructions, enter into the pinned comment. I don't even care if you're subscribers or not, but you do get a bonus entry if you're a subscriber. So here's what he looks like out of the bag. Obviously, you guys know what the plush baby dragon looks like by now. Anyway, put baby dragon back over there. Now let's get to the legendary rankings, guys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to base, like I said, on win rate and then use rate and then get to the overall rankings. So quickly here, the win rate is crazy for Mega Knight. Mega Knight clocks in at 74.6% win rate. That is absolutely incredible right now. Now, granted, a lot of people haven't unlocked Mega Knight, so you have to take that into account. He's way up on his own there at 74.6% win rate, and then it drops off to Bandit at 62.9% win rate. You can see the win rates on your screen, the log at 58.8. It's crazy that the Bandit and the Mega Knight have a higher win rate than the log right now. Then it goes E-Wiz, Princess, Night Witch, Miner, Ice Wizard, and then the following 5 legendaries have a below 50% win rate, and that is the Lava Hound at 49.9, Lumberjack at 49.7, Inferno Dragon 49.3, Graveyard, and Sparky down at 37.3. Now, some of you guys may note that in the Supercell Developer AMA, they actually said Sparky has a high win rate. And that's because we're not factoring in low-level and mid-level arenas here. This is based on challenges and based on Legendary Arena. So obviously Sparky must have very high win rates in lower to mid-level arenas after you're able to unlock her. But overall, for our intents and purposes, 37.3 on Sparky. I'm not saying she's the worst card in the game, but I do think she's the worst legendary card in the game. Hey, just my opinion. I know there's a lot of Sparky lovers out there. Use rates. The log, of course, is number 1. It's a spell after all. It's a 30.3 use rate. E-Wiz, 29.4. It's the number 1 use rate card in 29.4% of decks in the entire game aside from spells. That says a lot. That's almost at Night Witch use rates back when she was incredibly OP. So Ewiz definitely going to be high up there in the overall rankings, guys. Then we have Bandit, Princess, Miner, Inferno Dragon, Night Witch at 12%, Ice Wizard at 11.2%, Lumberjack 8.5%, Graveyard 8.2%, Lava Hound 5%, Mega Knight 3.2%. Of course, that's clouded by the fact that not everybody has him, obviously, and Sparky at 3.2% as well. So let's get to the overall rankings here, guys. You can pick up valuable information. By the way, huge shout out to statsroyale.com. That's where I got all this information from. You guys should check it out. It has a lot of valuable information. You can even track top players by typing in their little player tags. You can see what decks they're really using instead of just what they're showing on their profile. So, moving on to the overall rankings, 13th place is Sparky. Sparky still struggles in this meta, and the reason I say that is because of Zap. Zap has replaced the log in terms of being the hot spell right now, and it's because of bats. So the problem there is if everybody's running Zap and a big spell, whether it be a rocket or a lightning or even fireball and poison, if they're running two spells and one of them is Zap, they have the Sparky reset, and as we saw before, the Ewiz rate at 29.4, you're running into a lot of reset mechanics, the Ewiz, the Zap, and lightning right now. So it's a gamble to play Sparky. Now, some people do have success with Sparky in Zap bait decks, essentially baiting out your opponent's Zap with bats, and then you can play your Sparky. However, that's a high skill cap, I think, personally, so I'm still going to rank Sparky 13th. I still am in favor of a rework on Sparky, giving her a quicker charge and maybe a little bit less damage. I think that would really help her, and then it would make the resets a little bit less valuable. Moving on to number 12, it's Graveyard. Believe it or not, guys, Graveyard with a 6.2 usage rate and Graveyard 45.5% win rate. Doesn't sound all that low, but it's actually pretty low. Graveyard was around 55% before the nerf, so it got a huge nerf and a rather significant win rate nerf as well. So Graveyard right now is in a tough spot. My feelings on Graveyard is it's not dead by any stretch of the imagination. However, it's hurting right now. I think that having that win rate kind of proof is in the pudding there. 45.5% win rate. I'd like to see Graveyard get back to the way it was and just fixing the RNG on it. And the developers actually alluded to that in the previous patch notes, in the update notes, when they said that they were thinking about a rework, but for now decided just to nerf it. They said for now, meaning that hopefully there will be a rework, because I actually like Graveyard being a strong card in the game. I was one of the minority players who actually liked Graveyard, and I just like to see a little bit of the RNG fixed. Moving on, number 11, I'm going to give number 11 to Lumberjack. Now, Lumberjack, 49.7% win rate, 8.5% usage rate. I think it's a unique card, and I think that it's probably in a different tier, or maybe the same tier as Graveyard and Sparky, but they're kind of useful. Graveyard, obviously a win condition. Lumberjack is not. Lumberjack has its niche decks that it kind of fits in, such as Golem Beatdown, Giant Beatdown, and even Balloon decks. So I think that Lumberjack is still a really good card. Remember, they're legendary cards. They're all pretty good, but I would rank the Lumberjack as number 11. Number 10, I'm going to go Lava Hound. Surprisingly, maybe, because Lava Hound's just a solid tank card, and Lava Hound is the only card, really, out of all the legendary cards to own an archetype, meaning that you build everything around the Lava Hound, and it dominates the deck that it's in. Miner, I guess you could make the case for as well, maybe Graveyard, but, you know, those cards are strong win conditions. However, Lava Hound, I just think that it's not in an awful spot right now, but the versatility just isn't there. Besides Lava Loon and Lava Miner, there's really nothing else in the game, and people have learned how to counter Lava Hound decks right now, especially with all the E-Wizzes and Inferno Dragons going around. I feel like, Lava Hound has been in better situations. Now we're getting into really good cards here. Ice Wizard at 9. Ice Wizard is funny because we saw the usage rates go way up after the buff, and now they started to dip back down again. Right now it's at 11.2 usage rates on Ice Wizard. After the update, after the balance changes, it was at 18%. So that tells me that a lot of people tried Ice Wizard and still found better cards out there to fit that need, that defensive support card need, such as the E-Wiz. So I think the Ice Wizard's worst enemy here is his brother, the E-Wiz. Next card is Inferno Dragon. That was actually up from my last legendary rankings. Inferno Dragon was, I believe, 11th. Now it's all the way up to 8th. So that's good upward mobility there for the Inferno Dragon. A lot of people with more Mega Knight and more P.E.K.K.A. out there have opted to carry the Inferno Dragon. He's dominating CCGS right now. So when good players are using a legendary much more often, it should tell you that, hey, maybe consider playing Inferno Dragon, especially if you're running the Inferno Tower right now. One less elixir, and it gives you more versatility, especially offensively. On the counter push, it has to be answered. So let's go into number 7. This was really a tough one here, because everything from 7, actually everything really from 8 and beyond are really good cards. So it's tough to rank them 7 when I think the card could, someone could make the case that it could be top 3, and that's Miner. I think Miner is a really strong card, an awesome card, a versatile card, a cheap card, a quasi-win condition, has a control and a cycle archetype built around it. It's an awesome card. Like I said, could make the case that it's number 1. However, just sheer power right now, it feels like Miner is always there inside the meta, but it's never like an OP card. It's never a card that really dominates. It's a card that does really well. So I love Miner. I'm going to rank him 7. Surprisingly, right behind the Night Witch. I could have flip-flopped these two places, but the Night Witch, I think, is still very underrated in the meta right now. The Night Witch win percentage is 57.5. That's a real high win percentage. Night Witch does fit very well into the beatdown archetype. I still think Night Witch is probably the strongest support card, maybe along with Mini P.E.K.K.A. now. I think the nerf to the Night Witch was appropriate because it gave life to the Mini P.E.K.K.A. along with a buff, but I do think that Night Witch is still a strong card. If she were to appear in my shop and I had gold saved and I hadn't unlocked her, I would definitely splurge on the Night Witch. Moving on, number 5 is Princess. I think that Princess is in a really good spot right now, especially with all the spell bait, the log bait, the zap bait going around. Princess is really strong, and she does a mammoth amount of I don't know, versatility, amount of damage, amount of utility. That's the word I was looking for. A ton of utility as a defensive card placed in front of your King Tower. She can stop all those swarm units that are going around right now. The minion hordes in the 3 Musketeer decks, the minion hordes in the Lava Loon decks. Basically, she can stop swarm cards. Skeleton army is not a big deal. And when you can get multiple princesses on the arena into a double elixir time, you have a huge decisive advantage over your opponent. Moving on, number 4 is going to be the Log. I love the Log. It's another card that you could make the case is the strongest legendary card. It's only 2 elixir, and it's a unique card. There's no other spell like it. Has the pushback effect, and you can't... I forgot what pro said this on the channel recently, but you can't have negative value on the Log, basically. Like, even if you're just using it against your opponent's elixir pump to do some chip damage, or just against a tower naked Log against a... naked log anyway, a log against a tower by itself, you could even make the case that it's worth it if you have nothing else to play. It just has a lot of value, and of course you can get huge positive elixir trades with the Log. So Log is going to be number 4. Remains one of the strongest legendaries. Number 3 is going to be Mega Knight. Mega Knight is still in that period where we're not quite sure. A lot of people thought it was incredibly OP, needed an immediate nerf, and the win rate would suggest it does. 74.6% win rate. Man, that is a really, really disturbingly high win rate. But remember, when you couple that with the usage rate of 3.2%, it tells you that basically only the good players who are able to unlock him during the challenge are actually playing him. So that win rate is skewed by the fact that there's some good players who are playing the Mega Knight right now. So I'm going to rank him number 3. I think he's a strong card, a unique card, but also a high risk, high reward card at 7 elixir cost. Moving on to number 2, it's going to be the Bandit. Bandit, she is so good, right, guys? I mean, Bandit is a solid card, as the dash is just so tough to defend. It absolutely has to be answered. She's surprisingly a good counter push card, and she can keep your opponent off balance. When you hit opposite lane, again, she must be answered, and quickly, decisively by your opponent. So the Bandit remains an incredibly powerful card after her buff that was 2 balance updates ago. And number 1 in the legendary ranking, I think last time it was Night Witch. This time it's obviously going to be Ewiz. Ewiz, some people could make the case that he needs another nerf, another nerf after the 2% health nerf of last update. Man, I'm getting off track here, guys. Let's drive it back on the rails, Ash. Ewiz is just so strong, and the problem with Ewiz is what we discussed with Ice Wiz. He's so versatile, so useful with that zap stun ability, that resetting ability. He's great to pair with tanks. He's great to stop a Hog Rider. He's just an all-around incredibly strong defensive card. He stops pushes so well with that stun ability. Even though it seems like it's just a split second, it's a really strong, super useful card. I think the Ewiz, the proof is in the pudding, with the win rates being 58.6% and the usage rates being sky high at 29.4%. If the Ewiz came in my shop, I would always buy 1, and maybe if I had the gold, I would buy 2. I think he's that powerful right now inside the game. So what do you say, guys? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you think about the changes from last time's legendary ranking, if some of you remember those? Are there some big Sparky fans who are mad at me for ranking her last overall? Or are there some people who are Ewiz haters who think that he should have been lower on the list? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. And don't forget to sign up for your little plush baby dragon. So guys, huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Thank you to all of you guys for watching. As always, take care, guys.